Pathless. Today we're going to be going over the Forrest Plateau, which is the second area of the Pathless. Once again, I am not going to be doing 100% of this area. This will literally just be enough to kind of get you by. So as we went over yesterday, the main mechanic of this game is targeting these little targets. But it doesn't stop in this area. Now, this is the part where we're introduced to our first main bad guy, villain. So that's the God Slayer awakening this beast. And this is kind of what we have to look forward to fighting. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 of those temples. So you can kind of see them in the background. We have 1, 2, and right now we can only see 2. We'll find another one at another viewpoint. But if you see that area over there, you see where it's glowing yellow, that's going to lead us to our first puzzle piece that we'll need to unlock these temples. You'll notice these are kind of puzzles. They're all not too hard. This one, as you can see, gave me a prompt to use the eagle. And what we'll do is we'll shoot an arrow. Sometimes you're like, okay. As you can see, I have to unlock this one, move this one over a little bit. So it has to be a switch somewhere, so what we'll do is kind of walk through this area, see if we can't find the switch for it. And as you can see, I see a glowing wall, so that's going to trigger me to use my see-through powers. I'll press it. And that allows to, use it a little too early. There we go. Now we're going to be able to take this target, move it over. And as you can see here, there's 3 targets on here, so that means it has to pass through 3 areas before it has to hit that last target for to unlock it. As you can see there, there's a temple straight ahead, so we're going to go ahead and go to that temple first. Now, I mentioned earlier, every area has 3 temples to unlock before you can start fighting the main boss in the area. With the first area, you'll only need 1 puzzle piece per temple, but in the other areas, you'll have to get 2 of those puzzle pieces in order to unlock those temples. So another thing, I didn't get this until way later on in the game, but as you can see, we have these glowing statues. I just thought they were for decoration, but they're not. And I'll show you how to use them. So you'll go up to them, you'll activate them with circle, and you'll go in order of their height. So down there was 1, there's 2 right there, there's 3 right here. This is the 4th one. And there should be a 5th one around here. There you go. And when you activate them in order, it'll give us some of these golden nuggets that we have to use to obtain double jumps. So like I said, I'm not trying to 100% this, but those really stumped me early on in the game. So much so that I just passed them without any kind of anything. So as you see, everything's starting to turn red, and this is going to trigger a cutscene event. Not one of my favorite things in the game. This is a bit melodramatic, but you'll have to go through this throughout the areas. Basically, you have to sneak over while the enemy's looking at you. You have to remain still. As long as you remain still, they can't spot you. So if it's all lit up, that means the enemy can see you. As you can see here, the enemy's no longer looking at you. You can't run, so this makes it very slow. But as you can see here, you can hide behind walls. Ultimately, if he sees you, all that happens is you get spotted. And there's not really a lot of downfall that comes with it. But basically, you're just trying to get to your eagle. When you get to your eagle, you press circle, and your eagle illuminates the area for the event of all. And then you have to go through this game mechanic again where you pick up your eagle by pressing square and rubbing it down to make sure you vanquish all the evil from the eagle. Evil from the eagle. And the eagle's cured. And we'll continue on to our temple. So my advice, if you're playing this game for the first time, just do the required amount of temples. If you want to explore the area after you defeated the boss, because until you defeat the boss, you constantly have to be wary of those cutscenes. They take time. I try to just finish them off. Finish all the temples off. That way, if I want to explore, I explore at my own pace. I don't have to deal with the enemy continuously popping in like that and just dragging out the area longer than it has to. After you defeated the boss in the area, then that cutscene won't come back up. Now, as you can see here, I was going to go straight to the temple, but there's a glowing rock up there, and that's going to be a puzzle piece. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up while we're here. Run, and then we'll use our double jump, press the switch, and get this puzzle piece all knocked out. There's room back there that you can read. Like I said, they have a lot of lore to them, but I don't really find them too useful, so. Same thing with those skulls, or those dead bodies with the blue orbs around them. They're great for some backstory, but they're not really necessary to beat the game. So we get over here, get to our first temple. And you'll have to use these stringy pull cords to make your way up. And that's where the boss is located, everyone. After you do your little run-in, it goes back to that area. So we'll put in our puzzle piece. And that's one temple down out of the 3. So we'll activate our headband, and there's 1, and there's 2. All those little glowing spots that you see are puzzle pieces. Sometimes you'll see a red shiny thing in the distance, and it'll actually be those gold nuggets. For some reason, the game will like to highlight those, and so you get caught up every now and then, thinking you're going to find a puzzle piece or a temple, and in reality, like down here, you see that that yellow. This will allow you to get these. And like I said, I'm not going to try to 100% this, but if I see them kind of along the way, I'll make sure to pick them up. because like I mentioned, double jumps and triple jumps and quadruple jumps. Yeah, so I'll glow thing over here. They help you tremendously throughout the game. They'll help you with bosses. They'll help you get to areas. So as you see here, this puzzle, we'll have to get 3 of these weights to unlock. And you'll just have to experiment. Some of these will be pretty easy. Like that. Just kind of walk through, use your band, and it'll kind of give you hints. Now, one thing, when you're using that eagle to transport that weight, you can't double jump. You can still do the pseudo jump with the target, but you can't double jump with the eagle, obviously. So, come on. The eagle half-assed it over here. There we go. So none of these are going to be too crazy. As you can see there, I'm going to need to activate 2 targets in order to unlock that area. And you're like, oh, maybe this will help me out, but it really doesn't. It just gives you some lore. As you can see here, this is, if you just run around, you'll see it. So I was a little preemptive with that one. I'll need that weight to unlock this one. That one will rise, and now we can shoot those targets. That's all 3. And now we can go straight into unlocking all 3 areas, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I wish there was, the only gripe I have is sometimes running across the map, it does take its time. Wish maybe you got a horse or something instead of this eagle. That'd be pretty dope. Now later on in the game, if you find all the puzzle pieces, you can unlock different powers, like your recharge rate goes faster. When you're flying, you move faster. When you're running, you move faster. It gives you faster bursts. You hit targets, etc. So it can actually be quite beneficial to find all the puzzle pieces in the area. But like I said, I advise you to probably just wait until you're completed. You complete fighting the boss. Let's see, we have another spot right there. Unlock this. Great thing is, after you defeat all the bosses, your stamina bar will get longer, which is a good thing because there's some areas of these maps that are pretty long. You see here, you're just trying to light these torches. Go into this temple. Like I said, whenever you get lost, just go ahead and use that headband, vision band, whatever you want to call it. Now, one thing I did want to mention that I didn't mention in the first part of the playthrough yesterday is the PlayStation has adaptive triggers. This game does not really take advantage of the adaptive triggers like some games on the PlayStation 5. The haptic feedback that is quite popular on some games isn't really here, and I think it's mainly because this game was also made for the PlayStation 4. They just kind of ported it over. So you don't have that same haptic feedback or adaptive triggers that you have on certain games. Which I realize some people are a fan of it and some people aren't. I'm all about it. So, a little bit let down they didn't have that feature, but it's not a game breaker. So as you can see here, we unlocked all 3 areas, kind of giving us the power to defeat the boss. And these bosses have 2 phases. The first phase, you'll be running after it, trying to shoot those targets on the side of its body. And the second phase will be in a coliseum. So we'll be going through the first phase right now. So all you have to do is just fly into the storm. And we see our boss right there. And this boss will shoot fire at you, just like it is right there. Once again, you're left running around, kind of chasing this. You don't want to get hit by this fire. And that's all you're doing, is pretty much chasing it. Can get a little annoying. Luckily there's a lot of targets in the area, so what you definitely want to do is try to cut it off at an angle. So you'll try to get the best angle that you're going to see. And want to avoid that. They'll jump, and when they stomp, they create a fire kind of wave. If you get hit by it, it really slows you down, and it just prolongs this boss battle. And you definitely want to just try to get it at an angle. As you can see here, it just takes a hot minute in order just to catch it. And I'm honestly 100% sure there is a better way to do this. But like I mentioned before, I'm pretty bad at games. So if you know a better way, just throw it in the comments. Help out other fellow gamers who are not as good as some people. And then once you hit all of it, your eagle will go in for a final strike. You think you won, but this just moves us to the second phase. I'll kind of try to explain things as I'm going through it, but they switch tactics pretty fast in this one. So what you want to do is you want to circle along. Try not to use all your burst. You're just going to circle around. And as you can see there, pretty much what they do is they shoot those fireballs, he charges, and then he does that jump. When he does that jump, you definitely just want to move to the side. Yeah, those fireballs. And then jump. Got to kind of as you can see there, I knocked all the wow, I thought I did a little preemptive right there. Let's get a little jump attack. Oh, fireball. I run out of stamina. Jump. Prompted to hit that circle button. It hits them. It moves the next phase of this battle, and he's just gonna kind of bombard you with those fireballs. You just gotta move, and then yeah, he throws like an eyeball at you. When he throws the eyeball at you, that's your cue to hit it. So the first volley will be just fireballs, and the second volley is this eyeball. Then knock it back. And then it's going to charge at you, and you just want it to leap over it. It'll hit this column, and that's it. Not a lot to it, but that charge, it definitely comes at you really fast. You're not really expecting it, and if you don't jump out in time, it'll reset you to the bottom, and you'll have to do that second phase all over again. It's pretty annoying. So just once you hit him on that forehead for that third hit, you want to make sure you're looking at him and you jump over him. And we've defeated the boss. We kind of gained their strength. Got some pet love going on. We get this arrow to vanquish the evil. And now the area is restored back to its beauty. Now this is the time where you want to explore, get all the pieces. If you want to find all those gold nuggets to get those additional jumps. This is definitely the time to do it. Like I said, I'm not trying to 100% this, so I'll just be moving on to the next section. So we defeated the first boss. We have 2 more bosses left. And then it'll give you this whirlwind, and it'll allow you to go to the next area. Spirit meter's now longer. And we gain another double jump. So what that looks like is 1, 2. And now this thing that popped up out of the Coliseum, what it does is all your extra puzzle pieces, you'll walk up to it, it'll plug them in, and that'll show you how many puzzle pieces you have left in the area. So once you fill all that up, it'll take you to meet that whatever the boss is for that area. So it's the deer. The deer will take you to an area and it'll bestow a gift upon you. And every area has one of these after you defeat a boss, and it's kind of incentive to complete all the puzzle pieces so you can get that bonus in that area. Now that said, this brings us to the conclusion of the Forrest Plateau. So I'm going to go ahead and leave off right here. But stay tuned for part 3 of this series, where we'll move on to the next area of the map. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit a like, subscribe. That way you're kept up to date when the next worst content is dropped and when the next part of this playthrough is posted. Until next time, thanks for being here with me. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you around.